Jesus looked up, not into the tomb, up, and he prayed out loud. Not a whispered prayer, not a private conversation, out loud, in front of the crowd, and what he said next is the key that unlocks the entire story. Father, I thank you that you have heard me. I knew that you always hear me, but I said this for the benefit of the people standing here, that they may believe that you sent me. He did not pray because he needed to reach the Father. He did not pray because he was uncertain. He prayed out loud for the benefit of the people standing there. The miracle was never only for Lazarus. It was for every person at that tomb who needed to see something so impossible, so completely past the edge of any human explanation, that the only conclusion available was God. And here's where 4 days stops being a delay and becomes a design. If Jesus had arrived on day 1 and healed Lazarus before he died, people would have said he was a gifted healer. Remarkable, but explainable. People recovered from illness. If he had arrived on day 2 or 3, before the 4-day threshold, before the point of no return, people would have said Lazarus was not really dead, that he was in some kind of suspended state, deniable, arguable, story that could be talked away at dinner. Day 4 eliminated every objection. Nobody at that tomb had an alternative explanation. The body had been in the ground for 4 days. The smell was real. The stone was real. The grief was real. The verdict of the crowd was unanimous. It was over. And into that unanimous verdict, Jesus spoke one sentence: Lazarus, come forth. And the man who had been dead for 4 days walked out of his own tomb. Still wrapped in grave clothes, still bound, shuffling toward the light with his face covered and his hands tied, but alive. The crowd did not cheer immediately. They stared, because there is no category for what they were seeing, no framework, no prior experience to map it onto. Nothing in their entire lives had given them a language for this moment. That is exactly why Jesus waited. He was not late. He was waiting for day 4. Day 4 is the day when God gets all the credit, because there is simply no one else left to give it to. Now, here is what most people miss. This is not a one-time event. This is not a unique miracle with a unique timing that applied only to one family in Bethany 2,000 years ago. This is a pattern. The same God who waited 4 days before raising Lazarus, that same God waited until Abraham was 100 years old before giving him the son he had promised decades earlier. Not in Abraham's prime, not when it would have been impressive, but still biologically possible. When it was impossible. When every person who heard about it would have no explanation except God.